In this video, we're going to create our very first simple circuit using MulitSim Live. Once you've logged in to MulitSim Live using the free account that you can create on the website, you'll have the option at the top right hand side of the screen to click the Create Circuit button. So we'll press that just now. Once the software has loaded within the website, we'll have a work area in front of us, and on the left hand side of the screen we'll have a number of options for selecting electronic components, and we'll get everything we need over here. One thing we should always do with our circuits is name them. So at the top of the screen where it says Untitled Circuit, if I click there and select, it highlights that text, and I'm going to name this simple LED circuit. We give it a name so that when we have created many circuits in the software, we can quickly find what we're looking for. This circuit is going to have an LED powered by a direct current source. We're also going to have a simple switch for connecting and disconnecting the circuit, and we're going to have a ground source for the circuit as well. This isn't strictly necessary for the operation of the circuit, but MulitSim prefers us to have a setting for where the zero voltage is in our current. So it's helpful for the simulation purposes, and we'll use that through all circuits, both with AC and DC supplies. To get a power supply, the third icon down for sources gives us many different options. We're going to select DC voltage. My cursor now has a DC power supply underneath it, and I click anywhere on the screen. I just click here, and it selects the voltage supply onto the screen there. I'll get what else I need. You can see that further down we've got an image of a diode here. If we go into that, we have the option of diodes and various other components, including LEDs. So I'll select an LED. And again, I'll click to place it on the diagram. There's an icon of a switch further down. We will take a standard switch with the SPST, which is single pole, single throw, and place it up here. And we'll also, because we're not going to use it, take a ground icon from schematic connectors and take ground here. We'll place it down here just now. So these are all of the components we're going to need for this circuit. We now need to join them together. You notice that at either end of each component there's a little diamond. If we hover our mouse over the end of the component, over the diamond, it changes from the hand icon to the spool of wire icon. If we click that and drag, we then are rolling out wire, which we can use to connect components. If we click again, it fixes that in place and allows us to change direction. And I can drag this over, and if I click on the component, you can see this circle zeroing in on the connection. If I click here, we've now placed a wire connecting our voltage supply to our switch. And I'm going to now do this from the switch to the LED and the LED back to the power supply. I'll connect the ground laterally and show you how that's done as well. So the switch, we get our cable here, our wire, connect down to the LED. We should always check we're connecting LEDs in the right orientation. The anode, the larger line on the battery side, should be connected in such a way that the wire flows from there round into the base of the triangle in the LED. And we'll connect the LED round to the battery again. And now we have a complete circuit. Lastly, we need to take our connection from the ground and just connect it to any part of our circuit here. We'll specifically want to connect it to one side, so we know where we're setting up our zero voltage to, and that should be at this side of the circuit before we get back round to our power supply. So I'll click here to select. We've now set up our circuit. There's a few things we can do before we get underway. Some components in MulitSim have the option to change different values. If I was to click on our DC voltage supply and then press the cog icon at the top right hand side of the screen, I can change a number of different values. So here I'm just to illustrate, I've changed a 5 volt supply to a 6 volt supply. And if I click off anywhere on the screen, you can see, and I have a 6 volt battery supply here. Similarly, if I click on the LED, I can change many settings here. I'm not going to alter these, but I will change the color. So instead of having a red LED, let's have a blue LED instead. When we are running MulitSim, you can see that when I click on a switch, I've got this power button to toggle it here, but currently nothing's happening. And that's because we have a mode where we're building and creating, and then we have a mode where the circuit's live and we're actually running the simulation. And that begins when we press the play button on the top left of the screen. So I'll press that now. What happens is your clock starts running there. And if we were monitoring the output of our circuit in any way, we could plot a graph of that using the software. However, here we don't have anything like that set up, but we can now see what happens in our circuit when we have it live. If I now click on the switch closes and the LED lights up blue because power voltage is now supplied across it. And I can click the switch to open again. For the task that you have to do, you have to create this circuit, check that it's working, and then provide me with a screenshot of your work. And I'm happy for you to do that in whatever way is most convenient for you. You can use a snipping tool within Windows. You can take a screenshot on your phone or tablet if you're using that sort of device. I'm happy to accept an image file. You can paste it into a Word document. The Dropbox on the tool will accept anything. But you will need to create this circuit and show me that you've been able to do it. And that will allow us to go on to the slightly more complicated circuits we're going to need to complete this learning outcome.